So I teach others how to calm their mind and how to just regulate their nervous system as well. Yeah, absolutely. I love manifestations.
What is a spiritual bath?
There's a lot of negative energy, but then I did go through a spiritual awakening, and that happened during COVID.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Chatting podcast. I'm your host Josh, as always. I'm here by, I want to say, is it Aish?
Aish Rose.
Aish Rose. Cool, perfect, sorry. So me and Aish, we're going to have a chat, and you lot listening are going to learn some things. But before I get into it, as always, I would just like you to like, comment, subscribe, and basically anything you're listening or watching on, just do the good bits, comment, share, and all that shit. It helps me, and then the more that happens, the more I can do. Yeah, anyway, boring stuff out the way, people. So we've got Aish with us. Aish's Instagram, I believe, undersells her a fair bit, because I've had a look at her YouTube and her Instagram, and her Instagram says that she makes candles, and is a meditation guide, and high priestess. Now, I'm going to take the high priestess and look at it in a larger way, because some people will just read it and then, but looking at your YouTube, I see you've got videos on how to have a spiritual bath, you do cards, all sorts. And I want to get into all of this shit. So, because I'm excited, I like learning. So for everybody listening who hasn't done a little bit of research on you, who is Aish, and tell me what you do?
So, Aish Rose, I do a bit of everything. So, I am a tarot reader, as you saw from my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel, and I do private readings for my clients. I also do oracle. Okay. I'm a meditation guide as well. So, I teach others how to calm their mind and how to just regulate their nervous system as well, especially with this. I help them to just relax a little bit, but also connect to their spiritual side as well. So I am very spiritual, which is why you saw the high priestess on my Instagram. So I am very spiritual as well. So that the spiritual side connects to everything. It connects to the meditation, to the oracle, to the tarot, and I make candles. So I do a little bit
busy.
I'm a busy girl.
Sounds like me. I live off momentum. I always say I live off momentum. Like, I have to keep going.
You have to keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
Well, exactly. So when you say you're very spiritual, was there like an awakening moment where you were like, oh, or was it just something? Was it how you were brought up? How does that come about?
Yeah. So I was always very religious, even growing up. Okay. So I was brought up in a Christian household. So I was always very religious, even when like other people around me wasn't as religious. So I was always very religious. I always went to church, and I was really big on prayer. Like, I was really into religious studies. I studied it in school. So I felt like I always had that spiritual side to me. Yeah. But then I did go through a spiritual awakening, and that happened during COVID. But
I've heard that so much.
So many people as well, right? COVID did a lot for all of us, and it changed people in different ways. So yeah, during COVID, you have more time to yourself. I had more time to think, to reflect, and yeah, I was on my own. I was actually living on my own at the time. So I had a lot of free time, and I was working from home. So it just started from there. And then next thing you know, I went down, I was really into astrology.
Okay.
Zodiac signs. I'm a Gemini, so I was really into reading my horoscopes. Then it went down to the tarot, and then my spiritual awakening happened. And then that's when it's called Dark Night of the Soul. Okay. I don't know if that term.
Not a clue.
The Dark Night of the Soul is basically, it kind of feels like a depression. That's what, from my personal experience, it feels like a depression. But it just feels like a time where it's like deep reflection of yourself and of your inner child, any traumas that you've gone through, but just like really going over the last, 10 years, possibly for some people, maybe even longer, 20 years, and just really going through that aspect of what have I learned, what do I need to heal from, and how can I move forward? And that really ignites your spiritual awakening.
That's funny, because I was speaking to, in fact, it was only 2 weeks ago, Um, yeah, spiritual goth. Oh, I can't remember her name. I'm really bad with names. If you're
I think
listening,
it's
I do apologize.
anyways.
But yeah, she had the same thing. She was like during COVID, she's just she said she felt like she was spiraling, and then all of a sudden this just spiritual awakening happened, and now again she's like she's a medium and all sorts. And I was like, I feel like I missed the trick when it came to COVID.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that too for quite a lot of people. And certain people, they either became really spiritual or they changed their religion. They found a different calling or they found their purpose in some sort of way. So I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
found quite a lot of people during COVID, they got the call. I mean, I got the call. But everyone, they find their purpose at different times in their life and at different stages. So
100%.
that's just how I see it.
I feel like everybody's purpose is different as well. So, like, obviously, if someone's listening, if you went through, the whole pandemic and whatnot, and you were like, I didn't have a spiritual awakening or anything like that, it's not a bad
Yeah,
thing.
don't worry. It's not bad.
Like, it's okay. Like, I poured myself into exercise, and that was my thing. I was well overweight, and then I got like really good weight, and now I'm slowly just probably feel like I'm getting slightly overweight again, but it's fine. We're okay.
Yeah.
So, with regards to in fact, firstly, you're brought up like Christian. So whereabouts in the UK are you from?
Watford.
Watford. Oh, okay. Yeah, I spend a lot of
I'm,
time Watford,
oh,
London way.
oh,
So
nice. Yeah.
with work, I love it and hate it at the same time. Very busy, traffic. I can't stand it. Um, so you have this spiritual awakening. What's the first thing? What do you go to first? Obviously, with the multitude of things you do, what was the first thing that you did and was like? Then it built onto the next few things.
I started studying the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a lot of free time. It was COVID. And I felt like I just needed to know more about a higher purpose. I felt like there was more, there was more for me to learn.
Yep.
And I started really studying the Bible. So reading through the Bible, getting sticky notes, highlighting certain scriptures, and then just taking it back. And then I started looking at different religions. It was just, I was like comparing scriptures. And then I started looking at Islam as a religion.
Okay. Yeah.
And I then started comparing certain things and I just started researching.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me as well. I found tarot. So at the same time as I was, looking through the Bible and researching different scriptures, I was also on another, on the other side, and I was looking at tarot, and I was like, okay, something doesn't feel, I don't really fit here. Like
Yeah.
something doesn't feel right. I don't really fit, and I don't really know where I fit. But I don't know if religion is something that sits right with me.
Okay.
I love to study it. I love to study it, but I don't think that I want to be necessarily a part of it.
Okay.
And that's when the research started happening and just having a look at, Judaism and just researching. I had a lot of free time.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's.
and yeah, actually, I'm definitely more spiritual and I love to learn about different religions, but I don't necessarily want to be part of one.
So would you say you're not like Christian anymore, or?
And you know what? I would. I would say I'm
Okay.
not Christian anymore, but I battled with that for about 2 years.
Yeah, it's hard. See, I've never really settled down to a religion as such. I definitely believe in a higher power. The more people I speak to on this podcast, I'm actually probably edging more to like the spiritual side of things as well. I definitely believe there's a higher power, but I just don't believe in a god as such. I can't bring myself to believe there's one man or being controlling and creating and doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as soon as you mentioned like that you were a Christian as a child and growing up, and then you're now doing tarot, I was like, I don't know, are they like a conflicting with each other? Do they conflict?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very conflicting. So, I was brought up as a 7-day Adventist as well. So it's very conflicting. For them it's evil and it's bad and
Yeah,
it's really wrong.
you're a
But then
witch.
you're a witch and you're evil and you're going to cast spells on people and people are going to turn into frogs. But then, that's why I feel like the pandemic was really special, because then I had a chance to actually go and research on my own.
Yeah,
When you're brought up and everyone's entitled to their own beliefs and their own religions, and nothing is wrong. I don't want anyone to listen and think, oh, being a 7-day Adventist or being a Christian is wrong. absolutely not. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just a time where I was able to research further into it and think, okay, let me kind of think for myself. Because for me personally, I wasn't given the opportunity to think for
Yeah.
myself. Because once you're a child, you're straight in it. This is your religion. This is what everyone believes in. And that's that. This is bad and this is good. During
Yeah.
the pandemic, well, actually, I'm going to find out what I like and what I think is good and what I think is bad, and just finding my own sense of purpose,
Yeah,
really.
nah, I love that. I love that because, like you said, it's really hard because l- I'm say luckily I was my family isn't religious at all, but you do see some children and religion is pushed on them quite a lot, and at that point they sometimes they can become like rebellious or they go head dive into it, and it's usually one way or the other, you know. And I always say with religion as well, whether you're Christian, whether you're Judaism, Islam, whatever you follow, if it makes you a better person and gives you a reason to be a good person, it's a positive thing.
Yeah,
Y-
100%,
You know,
100%.
it's
Yeah.
so easy. And don't get me wrong, every religion has bad eggs and all that stuff, but mostly you know it makes you a better person, and that's for the benefit of humanity. So whether it's made up, whether it's not, it doesn't matter as long as you're being a good person. Um.
Yeah, 100%. Love that. Yeah.
So with regards to tarot interests me like a hell of a lot, mainly because it's like I how how do you feel? Where does this how can you explain what it feels like?
What to channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So meditation is important because
Okay.
you have to be able to clear your mind.
Okay.
And you have to be able to put your own beliefs and your own personal opinions sometimes to the back of your mind, so that so you can really get those downloads. Because if you're channeling for somebody else, you don't want what you're thinking about or your past experiences to get in the way of those messages. So having a clear mind is really important, and being able to like regulate your emotions is very important, and having emotional maturity is very important as well, because you don't ever want to project.
I'd be fucked. I'm not mature at all.
You don't ever want to project your own feelings or immaturity onto somebody else, because it's very personal. When you
Yeah.
tap into somebody else's energy, it's very, very personal. You don't know what messages you're going to get, you know?
Yeah, I'm booked in
It
for my
come up.
first one tomorrow.
Oh, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
really scared.
Well, don't be
I'm
scared.
really scared, and because I'm speaking to Anastasia, that's the lady I was talking about earlier, and I'm booked in, and she's going to do a live tarot reading and medium reading on me, and I'm petrified.
Oh, I'm sure it'll go really well. And there is no such thing as a bad message either.
Well, yeah, but in that case, this is a great question actually, because what can you pull a card which is like you're going to die soon? Like, is that a thing, or
No.
I'm having nightmares about this stuff?
No, no. You can put a card where I can give you a warning, so I can say, "Oh, there's a tower card has come out,"
Hmm.
and then I will see what other cards come out with that to see what the tower might be, with what it could be about. So I say it might be about an argument might come up. So I might get the tower card and I might get the five of wands, and that might tell me that there could be some conflict that's going to happen. That could
Okay.
be in your home or possibly at work. So just make sure that you're on your P's and Q's and be careful of how you're communicating within the next 5 weeks, because something may either not go very well for you or for other people. So just stay out of conflict at
Right.
this time.
Okay.
It
That
would be a
makes
message like that. It wouldn't be like, oh, there's a tower card. Okay, you're going to get struck by lightning and you might die tomorrow. It was,
Have you ever had it like again? It's a question from me really. Is like with regards to like, do you get readings where it's like you could be ill, you should see a doctor, anything like that? Have you ever had anything like that?
I have, but they're quite rare. So I have before, but the lady was pregnant at the time and she had a high blood pressure,
Right.
and that came in like straight away. And it was like, okay, I feel like you should go and speak to a GP and
Wow.
have a little look. And yeah, she's actually still one of my clients today. She's been with me for 5 years now, and she actually had a little girl. But yeah, she's
That's amazing.
actually. But yeah, that happened. But normally, if you do see something like sickness, it might just be like, oh, with the four of swords. So it might just be, okay, you need to take some time out to heal. You need to rest.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Yeah,
That's no. It's
I
super interesting.
I get that a lot. Sorry, yeah.
No, that's so interesting because it's like, for me, it's like obviously people's perceptions of everything is so different on what these things are, you know. So it's so interesting to learn about these things because, like I say, the two questions I asked you, I genuinely believe that, like, I in my head that was like, yeah, someone could tell me I'm gonna die tomorrow. You know, this is gonna happen.
No, and things like with like tarot readings, oracle readings, the future can change, and we're really just reading, your energy. We're
Yeah,
just telling you what you basically already know. But sometimes it's just hard. Sometimes us humans, we just want a second opinion, or you just want someone to just tell you how it is. That's what basically our job is, just to tell you how it is and to just give you guidance. But it's not to really control the outcome, and change can happen. I can give you, a reading, and you could decide that you're going to do something the opposite, or you're going to follow my advice, and something can happen. But, we're not fortune tellers. I don't necessarily
yeah,
believe in fortune tellers necessarily. I believe that we can predict, by your own actions in your own energy field, what's going on with you. And because of what's going on with you, what could possibly be the outcome of your
yeah.
current actions. Yeah. But
Okay.
to necessarily say, for 100%, this is going to happen on this day, things can change.
Well, also, it's like depending on what you believe as well. Like I'm a believer of, like, there's so many time zones, like not time zones, but there's so many paths that we could potentially go down, and there's like
Yeah.
an endless forks in the road. So it makes total sense. So you mentioned meditation. You're a meditation guide. That's something I've never done. Never.
You've
I got
never
too
done
much ADHD. I'm riddled with ADHD. I'd be bouncing out the walls. I can't sit still for 5 minutes. Um, so meditation. What is meditation other than sitting, crossing your legs, and humming? Because again, I'm just saying what, like, the general people will.
That's a really, really good question. So, as I've mentioned before about just clearing your mind, but it's making sure that teaching you how to switch off,
Hmm.
but teaching you how to switch off, and you don't necessarily have to do it in quiet. It doesn't have to be quiet, because I use music, because
Okay.
I'm bouncing off the walls 24/7. I'm there, busy, busy, busy bee. So for me, I can't actually just sit there in silence and meditate. I
Okay.
have to listen to some music, or there has been times in my events I play music and I get them to listen to the music, because that also helps people that can't necessarily just switch off just like that and stop thinking. If I say, okay, listen to the music, and then I might say to you, okay, I might do some sound bowl, and that you
Hmm.
can then focus on that frequency, or even just listening to the birds. I might be really quiet and then say, can you hear that? Can you hear those birds? Or can you hear that dog barking? It sounds like someone's close to us. Can you hear footsteps? And make you focus on the environment around you. And without even noticing, you're not thinking about anything but what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
I might do that for 10 minutes. And next thing you know, I will ding my sound bowl and tell you to come back up. And you've just meditated for 15 minutes and you didn't even realize you'd done it.
Wow. That's so. Two questions. What is the choice of music? And where are you doing these meditations? Because by the sounds of it, it's like outside.
Yeah. So, first question, music. You know what? It really depends. So that's why I kind of like to use my intuitive gifts with that, because my first event I used old school R&B,
Oh,
because
okay.
people really liked R&B. So I did old school R&B. My second event, I actually did frequency music, because I had more spiritual guys come to the second event.
Yeah.
So they were really into gamma waves. So I used that instead. But it depends on the crowd. I have like
Sure.
different playlists. So it depends. But I wouldn't ever play anything that's lower frequency. It would have to be a higher frequency, because I want you to, elevate. I want you to be able to tap into your higher self. So
Yeah.
anything that was a lower frequency, let's say like it could be sometimes rap music. I love
It's not,
rap.
we're not doing like ACDC.
Not, yeah, not when I'm trying to get you to meditate. Doesn't really help. But yes, certain musics I wouldn't use, but a high frequency, yeah, 100%. Your
Okay.
second thing would be outside. I love doing it outside in nature, because it just allows you to be able to tap into different sounds. I love the fresh air. And
Yeah.
also at the same time, you're grounding your energy because you're
I was
right by the
literally
flow.
about to ask that.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what I do. So like when I go to work, if I get a chance, I'll get to work like half hour early and just find it's harder in London, but find a patch of green. I'm like, go hug the tree, bro. Like genuinely, just makes you feel better, you know. So you mentioned like events. I'm assuming you host like meditation events. Is that something is that what you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I host meditation events. So I do that in Watford actually. So I haven't yet expanded out to London. So that will be coming in the future.
Okay.
And right now it's summer. So I only started my events in June.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so far I've had 4 events. So from that, obviously it's going to get cold. We live in England. They
Yeah.
will have to be inside. So that will be coming for the end of the year, but I would prefer to be outside, of course.
100%. And these meditation events, is that just like sort of a group meditation where you're like just giving them some like tips and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so group meditation. So we meditate at the beginning, and then I might actually do some oracle and some tarot. So I give the ladies and men an opportunity. I'll say, we're going to have like a 15-minute break. Would anyone like me to pull a card for them? So this
Okay.
might be a card. I might pull a crystal card for you to see what crystal would be really beneficial for you at this time. I might do an angel oracle, a message from your angels, or I might actually do a deeper tarot reading if that's what you've asked me for. And you also have opportunity to buy a candle as well at the event.
Awesome. And what's the difference between like angel and tarot cards? Because I know there's 2 types.
Yes, so tarot cards is a deck, which is a set deck. Each tarot card has the same, so it has the same. So you have like your major arcana, your minor arcana as well. It's the same. So you have your tower, the death card, the lover's card. It's like set cards. They
Okay.
may look different with illustrations from depending on who you buy it from, but it's normally the same thing. You'll have like the queens, the kings, the knights, the cups. It's all the same
Okay.
meaning, more or less. However, with oracles, it's completely different. So these are cards that are made from different people, of course, but they might be, you could have ancestor oracle cards and they could just be different ancestors, and that will have a message book with it so that they will give you a message. Or it could actually be angel oracle cards. So, there could be something that says, your loved ones are safe, or you are protected in this time, or remember that you are loved, or self-care is needed right now.
Okay.
But not necessarily a tarot card where it has, the death card or the page of pentacles. It's something that's just a little bit more personal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's interesting because like I said, I've heard like the words angel cards, tarot cards, all this. I've never known what the difference is. So that's another thing to learn today. I love it. So with regards to the candles, you sell candles, you make candles.
Yes, I make candles and I sell
It's
candles.
not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, it's not.
I
Not at
used
all.
to work in a warehouse where we made like candles, bath bombs, all this sort of stuff, body
Oh,
butters.
yeah, it's not as easy as people think it is.
Getting a wick
And
to stand up is mad.
yeah, yeah, you got to make sure you do your testing, and yeah, loads of things can go wrong, loads of things can go right, but yeah, I
Okay.
love doing it though.
So what's the difference like between your candles and say the candles you'd buy in a shop?
So my candles are made by me. So that's one difference. But they are priced at 1111, which is angel numbers. I am big on angel numbers. And yeah, they are just a piece of home. That's how I think. A piece of home. They're warmth, they're loving, and they're manifestation candles. So I
Okay.
have candles for different things. So I have candles, self-love candle, which has pieces of rose quartz in it, the
Okay.
crystal.
Okay.
I have a cashmere coin, which is to help you manifest some money, which is everyone loves that one, so that's great. I have angel air as well, which is actually really popular with men. I don't know why, but angel air is my peaceful candle, and the scent is fresh linen.
Okay.
And yeah, my brother loves that one, especially after work. He likes that one, and he just like zones out. But they all have purpose behind them. Each candle has a purpose. I've made them with an intention for healing, for growth, and just so that you can really just get the best out of them.
That's an amazing way to look at it as well. Like, definitely a more personal style. With regards to like the men buying that, it's probably just because there's a massive uplift at the moment of men actually opening up about their feelings and just being a bit more, zen and a little bit more open to understanding that they can take self-care.
Yeah.
Up until recently, that's not really been a thing.
No.
And I think that's a massive thing that is so big at the minute. Is I always say like men's mental health, but then women's mental health is just as important, obviously. But it's more the opening up about it. So that's probably where that comes from. It's just in the zeitgeist at the moment with like the social media and all that sort of stuff. So you mentioned that your candles are, excuse me, what am I trying to say? Manifestation candles. There we go. Got ya. Is that something you sort of believe in and really, really like follow through with, like manifestation in yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I love manifestation. I love manifesting. I'm really big on it, and affirmations. And that's because I feel like it's helped me in so many different ways,
Yeah,
especially affirmations for like self-confidence and just believing in yourself. And there's different ways to manifest, whether that's, sticking notes on your mirror that says like you are amazing, and just seeing that every single day, especially when you're feeling low, it really does work. It really does help. And just believing in yourself. I feel like manifestation is really about believing in yourself, you
100%.
know, deciding what is it that you want? What do you think you deserve? And then putting out there to the universe and saying, okay, this is what I want for myself. And
Yeah,
then these are the steps I'm going to take so that I can have that because I deserve it.
100%. What was so with manifestation? I'm very much I'm a very practical guy. Like I can't. It was very hard for me to sit there and understand how someone could say I manifested this car, and next thing you know, I didn't have this car. I did do the work to get it, but it was all through manifestation. I struggled to understand that.
Right. Okay.
Could you like in your personal opinion, if you were to manifest something, where does that come from? Does that make sense?
Okay. Let's talk about a car because you mentioned a car,
Okay.
and that's something I've done before. So, for instance, a Range Rover.
Yep.
Really want a Range Rover. So I'm going to manifest a Range Rover. Now that's the first thing I've done. I've put that intent out.
Yep.
I'm now telling the universe, I'm telling everyone, I want a Range Rover and I'm going to manifest. Like, I believe it. I'm going to manifest it and it's going to happen and it's going to become a physical manifestation. So, what I'm going to do is I might go on Pinterest and I'm going
Hmm.
to I'm going to start looking for the Range Rover that I want. Now, I don't necessarily have the money for the Range Rover,
Yeah.
okay, but I'm manifesting it. So, now I'm going to look for my Range Rover. What color Range Rover? What year? What edition? Is it automatic? Is it manual? I'm going to get really, really into the details of the Range Rover that I want because
Right.
it's mine. Now you see, like, I've changed. So first I said, I want to manifest. Now I'm at that level where it's mine.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have the money for it yet, but it's mine and I will get that Range Rover. I've already started that manifestation because it's what I believe in. I've put that self-belief out there. Now it's going to come into fruition. So when I leave the house, I might now start seeing different Range Rovers all the time. Now I keep seeing Range Rovers everywhere because my manifestation is becoming something in the physical plane.
Yeah.
Now it's in my head. I keep thinking about it. Okay, now how am I going to get? Now here comes the action. How am I going to get that Range Rover? Now I need to research how much is my Range Rover? How much am I earning? And, that's the next step, the
Yeah.
action part. How am I going to get it? And before you know it, you've got your Range Rover because I put that intent out, I believed it, and I took action.
Okay. No, that's super, super interesting way of looking at it, because I think there's different types of things that you're gonna try and manifest, right? So it's like, you know, because what I spoke to somebody before and they explained it to me and it actually sort of made sense in my head for the first time ever. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. It sort of blew me away. So what I was told was, in effect, very similar to what you just said, but it's where the item or the said thing that you're after comes from. And basically what they said to me is, you've got to understand there's like multiple dimensions in life. Unless if you believe in parallel universes and all this sort of stuff, then if there's unlimited parallel universes, in one of those universes you own that Land Rover.
Yeah.
So you're basically tapping your life to move into that dimension and pull that version of you here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting on that frequency to be able to tap into that higher self of yours that already has that Range Rover in that realm, because you already have it. It's
Yeah.
your desire. It's just bringing that into fruition. But to do that, you need to tap into that frequency to get into that portal level of manifestation for it to become physical.
Okay.
And
No,
that's your intent and your belief. Without that self-confidence and having that intention, you will never be able to tap into that dimension.
it makes more sense every time I talk to somebody about it. It's making more sense to me, which is great. And with regards to sort of you mentioned frequencies, is that something you sort of live by as well, like different frequencies, and everybody has their own like energy frequency and things like that? Because I had a conversation with somebody before, and they were saying that obviously if you go into like say the shop for an example, and you walk past someone and you feel like a bit like, whoa, like you can feel bad energy. Is it?
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were saying that you know, you've essentially got this energy bubble around you, and let's say you hug someone or you get too close to somebody with the bad energy, it can affect your levels.
Yeah, it can transfer.
Okay.
Energy
And
transfer.
so with regards to that, I heard there's like I can't remember what she said, but she told me like there's like these, not like a spell, but like something you can say before going into a shop, which is like pushing the bad energy away. Is that, do you
I
confirm?
guess so. I mean, everyone's got their own thing though. So even in different religions. So for instance, for me, I might just imagine like a golden circle of light around me, and I might just say, my energy is mine.
Yeah.
I call my power back to me, and no one is allowed to tap into my energy, and I do not give my energy away to anyone. My energy is protected, and I am protected. Other people, they might pray,
Yeah.
because I still do that. Before I leave the house, my house, and when I come home, I pray. And when I go to sleep, I pray. And when I eat food, I pray, right? So even though you asked me earlier if I was Christian, I said, no, I still pray in a Christian way. I still pray to God. I still have that. But, other people, they may go into that shop and they may pray, or they may wear particular like amulet or, I don't know, certain jewelry to protect their energy as well. So I feel like everyone has their own way of protecting themselves, but making sure that you are protecting yourself. Doesn't matter how you do it, just make sure you're doing it. Really.
Right. It's very similar. What you said is very similar to what I heard before. So it's interesting that there's so many people on this spiritual path, and living for lack of a better term, a spiritual life, and it's all so different but also the same.
Yeah.
And it's like there's some sort of, because the woman I was speaking to was in America. You would have never
Yeah.
seen her, never heard her videos, and vice versa, but you're still both doing something the same.
That's interesting how that works, isn't it?
So it's like, surely there's something to it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. But then you could say that about religion, really. Because when you get into the spiritual community, everyone's different because they have their own practices and they have their own beliefs.
Yeah.
But there are similar things, in regards to like meditation, protecting your energy, aura cleansing your energy field. People have different practices, but it all is quite similar. And when you think about it, they now call this the new age. We're in the new age of Aquarius, where a lot more people are becoming spiritual. Think of like the hippies, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's coming back again.
I
Yeah.
live near Stonehenge. I know all about hippies.
So no, the next 20 years, we're going to see more podcasts about spirituality. You're going to see more music and talking about spirituality in their music, more higher frequency music. Things are changing and they are evolving. However, this has been around for years, ancient years, holistic way of life that has been around for centuries. So really all we're doing is just bringing it back.
Yeah.
They call it new age, but is it the new age? Because really, how long has crystals been around for?
Yeah.
How long has people been touching grass for and meditating for?
Yeah, and
Years.
it's funny because I think of that, and it makes me think of like clothing, like skinny jeans were in, and then in 25 years they'll be back in, and baggy jeans
Yeah,
are now in.
literally, that's just what it is at the minute. It is in, I guess, but a lot of people went through a spiritual awakening during COVID, and a lot more people are deciding that actually they don't necessarily fit the box of religion, and they may actually decide that spirituality is something that is a little bit more them.
Yeah, and it circles back to exactly what I said as well. If it makes you feel better about yourself, why not? What is a spiritual bath?
Okay. So a spiritual bath is when, for instance, you go into a shop and there's a lot of negative energy and you kind of feel a bit sluggish,
Yeah,
or you've been working really hard in the week and you feel quite drained, or you feel stressed, or you just feel like you just need a revamp
yeah,
spiritually. You feel heavy inside. It's that feeling. It's time for a spiritual bath. It's time for you to have a good cleanse. And this just talks about cleansing the spirit. Just like how you cleanse yourself, your physical self, your body, you also have to make sure that you cleanse your spirit, because you do have a spirit.
yeah,
Everyone has a soul. Some people don't believe that, but I believe, we all have a soul. There's someone inside of this physical body that I have. And as much as you need to clean yourself, you also need to clean your spirit. So one way of doing a really good cleanse would be to have a spiritual bath. And that basically just means running a bath. If you're into crystals, you can have crystals around your bath. You can put whatever it is that you like, but normally, sea salt would be great, Epsom salt. If you have any herbs, that would be good. You can put some herbs. Research the herbs and make sure that, you don't have any allergic
not
reactions.
the one you're all thinking about, people.
Yes. And so, it could be, for instance, you could put lavender if you want to like go to sleep. You've been having trouble sleeping. It really depends on what it is that you want to put in your spiritual bath. Everyone's is different. I like to put rose petals in mine as well. I love the effects of roses, the flowers. I love flowers. Because for me it's self-care. It's about
Yeah.
self-love. And so I'll put rose petals in mine. And yeah, it really depends on what you want to put in there, but it's up to you. It really is up to you. You might put a bit of black salt in there, like spiritual protection. And there are little packs that you can get online where you can actually just buy spiritual bath herbs and
Oh,
like
okay.
flowers that comes all together, or you can actually make your own. I think it's always more special to make your own, because
Yeah,
then it's more personal to you. And you just sit in that bath and you just relax. You might play a little bit of music, high frequency music,
yeah.
and it's just a time so you can journal as well about how you're feeling. You can do a gratitude list, but it's really a chance for you to offload
Yeah.
what's going on inside and what's going on in here. It's time to just let it out, wash it away, and trust me, you'll feel absolutely amazing after. I recommend everyone should take a spiritual bath at least once in their life.
It's funny because, you hear exactly what you've just said, and it's like, if I have a cold, for an example, the first thing I'm doing is like, right, I'm going to get in a bath, get some Epsom salts, light a nice candle, relax, try and get this out of me. And it's something we've all been doing, these sorts of things, but without the whole, the label of spiritual around it. And
Exactly.
that,
We're doing it already, but you're not really noticing that actually this is a spiritual practice. What you're doing is a spiritual practice, and it's been around for centuries. But it's just now actually seeing what it is. This is
yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
You are actually cleansing yourself, because you have toxins and you're just overworked. Especially overworking can make you sick.
Oh, I know that
You can
100%.
get sick, yeah.
If I go to
So
the gym for a week, I'm dead. Like genuinely, like I used to go to the gym for for 3 years straight. I was going like 2 times a day, like having one rest day, and then all of a sudden I hit 30, and if I train for 5 days in the week, I get a cold like that.
yeah, you get ill.
It's
And that's
crazy.
just your body telling you, though, that, maybe 5 days is too much, like 3 days is enough. But yeah, you're a busy man.
I got to
So
have a
it's
strong word with my body in the mirror. Enough is enough. Stop getting
enough.
sick.
Yes. I no longer get sick after 5 days of working out.
um, you mentioned like journaling and affirmation. Everybody talks about journaling, and in all aspects, whether it's recovering from addiction, recovering from suffering from mental health issues, feeling down. In your sense, I suppose you do it just as good practice.
Yeah, just as like a daily self-improvement. And when I feel a bit heavy, sometimes, I might feel a bit heavy. And because I do energy work
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if it's me that feels heavy or if I've just picked up something from somewhere else. So sometimes it's good to do self-reflection. Like, how am I feeling today? Has anything happened today where I could be feeling, what am I
Yeah.
overthinking about? Sometimes it's good to just get that out on paper, and then it's like, oh, okay, it's not me. I need to do a cleanse. Yeah, I'm actually fine.
And is it the actual is because people say it's the actual putting the pen to the paper and physically having written it down, that's the difference between thinking about it and writing it down, obviously in a normal sense as well, but that what helps with like the whole
Journaling.
non-physical side of it, should I say?
Yeah, because you put it somewhere. For me, I always say energy has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And keeping it all in your mind, that can cause anxiety, that can cause stress, sleepless nights. Like, get that thought and put it somewhere. Put that energy somewhere. Like you said, pen to paper, put it out there, make it something physical. Take that out of your mind. And that just also helps to just release that, because it's no longer in there anymore. You've put it there. So you can always go back to it as well later on your healing journey, because it's part of your healing journey, journaling
Yeah.
as well. And you can look back and think, look how far I've come. That's another positive thing about journaling as well. It's tracking your progress. Especially if you've had a bad day and then the next day you had a good day. Look back at that bad day and it will just show you every single time that even when things are hard, I overcame that.
Yeah.
I overcame that really crappy day when that person did this to me, or when someone was rude to me at work, or when I just didn't feel great about myself. I remember how I felt then, and now I know that no matter what happens, I can keep going. So that's also,
100%.
yeah.
No, I see that. And with regards to, I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is going to be, but living this spiritual lifestyle. Every time I say it, I sound like I'm being condescending, but I'm really not. Living a spiritual lifestyle, that I'm assuming makes you just a better person as well.
Yeah, 100%. When before I had my spiritual awakening, I was completely different, to the stage of, the fact that people were around me when I became spiritual. They just thought it was a joke, because they just couldn't believe that I changed so much. Even now, to be fair, when I see people from my past and stuff, they're like, wow, like, you've changed. I was like, yeah, I used to be really angry before, for no reason. Why am I
Yeah.
mad? I'm mad. Mad at the world, mad at myself, mad at my parents, just mad. And that's because I was looking for something that nobody else can give me. I needed to give it to myself.
Yeah.
And when I started that journey, yeah, it just made me a better person, made me be able to listen. I didn't realize I wasn't a great listener before this. I couldn't listen. I just only heard myself. I liked hearing myself, but I
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
really hearing anybody else, learning that. And, where can I improve in my life that could also be affecting other people? Because you say, oh, they're toxic, but how are you being toxic to others? That self-reflection, I never had that before. Everyone was an issue and I wasn't the issue. And I feel like sometimes spirituality can make you really do that deep work within yourself, and help you to just see that everyone's human, and
Yeah.
just be more patient with yourself and with others.
Yeah, I think that's something everyone needs to experience, to be honest with you. It's a bit sometimes this world can be a bit shit, but here we are. And did you sort of were you always this bubble? Because the reason I ask this is everybody who I've spoken to who are in the same sort of spiritual journey as you are,
Yeah.
they're all so bubbly, just like you, so bubbly, happy, upbeat. Is that something that comes along with it as well, or were you just quite bubbly in general before?
Such a good question. I've never thought about it. And I don't know. I think when you are, though, taking more care of yourself, so you are journaling, you are going on those self-care walks, you are doing meditation or just doing certain classes to invest in yourself, I think you are naturally going to be happier.
Yeah,
Because, today I meditated and I went on a walk to clear my mind.
you did way more than 10K, I see.
Yeah, took it way took it way too far with the walking today, but that really helped, because then I was really like clear and energetic for you guys today. I was able to take that time out for myself so that I show up better for myself and for others. So yeah, I mean, I think the spirituality thing works, I guess so.
it's it's funny because you mentioned like going on like a walk and things. I say this to everybody, like the first like, you know, I've spoken a lot about mental health on here, and from that I actually get messages from people saying, you know, they're feeling not great and all sorts. I've had all sorts of messages, and my first advice is always go for a walk,
Yeah.
work out, and, you know, exercise your body, because your body and your mind are so connected. But there's nothing, I think for me, the best time of the day and the best thing I could be doing, and it sounds a bit weird but not at the same time, it's part nostalgia. So a little bit of background to why I'm saying this is my dad's an avid fisherman. We used to go fishing all the time, so he'd wake me up at the ass crack of dawn. I hated it. You know, it's still dark outside. It's 5 a.m. We're getting in the car. We're going to a lake. It's freezing cold and we're going fishing. But at 5 a.m., if you stand outside, the air is so much fresher. That cold air hits you and you just breathe and it feels so fucking good. There's something about being in nature, but without the pollution of the cars driving around all day. The
That
stars are
pressure,
out.
it's amazing. And you
Honestly.
know, I feel like you do give off something. I don't know what it is, but because I'm not really into science like that. But I'm sure there is some sort of like emotion that you get from being in nature. I'm sure there is.
It's energy, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I don't know. Like when you exercise, you
the
give off something.
endorphins.
Yeah, I'm sure nature does that. Has to. I
Yeah,
mean,
100%. I mean, there's that seasonal. There's a seasonal depression disorder. That's a thing if you don't get enough sunlight. You know,
yeah, it's really important for your mental health. I've never been out at 5 a.m. though.
it's do it. It's
I might,
phenomenal.
like, if I could wake up.
Put an alarm on. Honestly, just go sit outside 5 a.m. Make sure the stars are still out. Just sit in a chair and just look up and breathe. It's honestly the best feeling. I promise you.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try the 5 a.m. thing.
And then you're gonna have to let me know, because I go to the gym like super early, so I'm
I'll
up.
let you know because
Um,
I don't go walking that early. But I will give it a try though. I will.
yeah, honestly, it's lush. Now my did when you first started this spiritual awakening journey and whatnot, did anybody think you were a little bit kooky?
Yeah, everyone, man. I feel like they still probably think I'm kooky. Like everyone, like yeah. The people that was also into it, but secretly into it, but nobody knew they was into it. Oh, they were like they were like my besties, right? They all come
Come out the
out.
woodwork.
It's like, oh hi, but yeah, I feel like they all thought like, oh yeah, you've gone mad. And
Hmm.
it's like, well, okay, I'd rather be mad than follow the crowd.
Yeah, be mad and
Someone's the
happy.
matrix, I might as well do it. So yeah, I did get quite a lot of looks and known whispers and gossip and slander and all that stuff that comes with it.
Yeah,
But then I also met people that were like more like me,
yeah,
and I connected with more people that, had the same views or similar views to me. And then it just made life started becoming easier because
yeah,
it's like, okay, well, you guys aren't my tribe, but I have now found my tribe. And then more people started to like my content and things like that. And it's like, okay, I'm not the only one out here.
yeah.
There's actually loads of us out here. And it's like when you do find your tribe and you're like, it's like, oh, finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, I feel you. And people say like you've got to surround yourself with five people you want to be like the most, because you it's like group mentality thing, isn't it? So
100%.
get rid of those negative vibes, those negative frequencies.
Yeah, get rid of them.
Get out of here.
Get rid of them. Be nice, but get rid of them.
So the reason I asked that question is because I want to get a bit kooky now. Oh.
Okay, let's.
So basically, with regards to spirituality, a lot of people who have this side of things, they believe in like paranormal stuff as well. Is that something have you ever looked into anything like that? Is that a vibe?
Yeah, what, like mediumship?
Mediumship, ghosts, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
This is my jam. This is my
Okay,
stuff.
do that.
So the reason I ask is, so through my job, I'm a telecoms engineer. So I go to businesses all the time, install phone systems, all the boring shit. But I do like hotels. I've been in castles, weird places. And sometimes you walk in a room and there's that hairs stand up.
Yeah.
There's some
Something.
scary thing here. And I did not know, and that happens. I've had it more than once. And for me, I very much believe in the spiritual. Like when I say spiritual, by this point, I mean I'll say paranormal. I very much believe in the paranormal side of life. I've had experiences. I've seen experiences. My family have had a shitload of experiences, like weird shit. But yeah, where have you ever like? Because I find like a lot of people who are on a spiritual journey, they tap into that side of things as well. Is that anything that you've ever looked at?
Yeah, so I am a medium. That's actually my first gift, but I don't really use it because the community is still, it's a bit like, and I feel like if we were in America,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's a bit different. They're more free, they're more open about,
Yeah.
but in the UK, we are still a little bit more behind. So even, mediumship is still like, even tarot, it's still, so I haven't yet really opened up to it completely the way that I want to. I have done mediumship readings though for people. But those readings they know I'm a medium, and it's word of mouth. They've come to me directly, privately, asked me for a reading.
Yeah.
But yeah, I 100% believe I believe in ghosts, spirits. I don't believe there's no such thing as bad ghosts though.
Oh no,
Have
there's some evil fuckers out there.
like for instance, it's for me it's a spirit. For me, I always say the living always has more control over the dead. So for me, yeah, you could do things to be weird, like flicker lights and try scare people or do some weird stuff. But for me, we'll always be in control. We'll always have power. So for me, you can never be bad or worse than me because I have more power over you.
What about
Yeah,
demons?
I love you went there. Okay, even demons. You have more power over demons. They're demons.
Scary bitches, though. Like,
No, that's what they live off. They live off fear. So
right.
for me, if that's the frequency though, tapping into that higher frequency, and because you and your family have had weird experiences, I definitely believe that you guys, there's definitely a medium in your family, well, for your ancestral line, because not everybody has those experiences. You have to be a certain type of person to be able to necessarily have those types of experiences or even feel what you feel when you go into different places. Not everyone can do that. So I feel like when you go for your reading tomorrow, I feel like you should ask certain questions about maybe your ancestral line and that
Yeah.
side.
Well,
Yeah.
I would really recommend you actually give Anastasia a follow as well because you two are so similar. Because she's literally like you, but in America. It's crazy. Yeah, no. So with regards to like your mediumship stuff, have you ever like seen anything or anything like that, like weird, scary stuff? Like,
No, it's not weird. No, it's not weird. For me, I've always said, right, like I've always put out there that I don't want to see anything. I've always said I won't see it. I'll hear, so I hear, right? I can hear, but I would never. I always say no. I'm not gonna. I don't want to see because you have control. I feel like people need to know that as well. You have control. Like you can say leave.
yeah,
You can. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. You are not welcomed here. You have power, but then fear makes people think that they don't have power. You
right.
do, and then obviously there's things like demons and bad things. Demons, yeah, they're real. They're real. And you have demons that are spirits, and you also have energy vampire demons that are living, and you also have people that they host certain spirits too,
Hmm.
but also understanding that they live off fear and you are in control.
Yeah,
So yeah, but even the experiences, yeah, I've had loads of experience, like weird stuff, like lights flickering, like seeing shadows,
that
presence.
happens here
Especially
all
when
the
you're doing
time.
tarot, that happens a lot. If I tap into someone's energy and they've got some weird spirit attached to them, yeah, some freaky shit stuff happening. Glasses are broken when I've been live on
I'm
YouTube.
done at that point. I'm running.
Yeah, I've had some really weird stuff. But it started early from when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah, yeah. So literally, when I say you're like Anastasia, it's the funniest thing because hers started early, but she's at the point now she did see things and she was like, nope, told them she don't want to see them anymore, and they've
Yeah,
disappeared.
no.
And that always makes me. I'm so obsessed. I watch YouTube ghost hunters. That's all I watch. I don't watch TV. I just watch ghost hunters on YouTube and podcasts. And it's funny you should say that because the only ones I find legit are the ones who, when they leave like the haunted house they go to, they're like, you may not follow us, you cannot follow us, I have the power, all this. I'm like, you are legit.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they're
Because
probably not.
and if they're not doing that, that means they don't really believe in what they're doing.
Hmm.
Because any person that's really tapping in like that, that's tapped in like that, you know, you have to protect yourself, and you need to tell those spirits, like, you can't follow me here. You can't be near me. You can't be near my family. I protect my home. I protect them. You have to be careful with what you're tapping into as well. 100%. If they're not protecting themselves, they're either naive, inexperienced, or they don't really believe in what they're doing. They're a fraud.
Or stupid. Yeah.
Or
What would what would you say to, like, with, like, this is just a general question from me, actually, because I think I want to do a ghost hunt, like, so bad. Like, I want to go to a haunted, like, place like the Ram Inn or somewhere scary. Would you like talk someone out of that, or would you be like, nah, do it?
why not? I feel like it, the fact that you're telling me that you like to watch ghost hunters, and that you and your family have had certain experiences in regards to, spirits and ghosts, then there's definitely something in your ancestral line. You are definitely gifted, 100%. And I feel like you should explore it. If you feel called to explore it, 100% you should do it, but protect yourself. So all I would say is make sure that before you go, you do a prayer over you, or, say, everyone's got their own thing, but make sure that you're protecting yourself. You put a ring of protection around you. Even you can wear some black obsidian if you're into crystals. Okay, so wear your black obsidian just to protect yourself. And before you get in there, you make sure that you also have authority. When you walk in there, you remember that you have authority, right? You have authority over what you see, what you hear, and have that confidence when you walk in there, so that they don't scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, no, I think I'd be scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do have a calling. Like, I've been trying to organize it with, like, a load of content creators to go to the Ram Inn and make a video. I wanted to do it for the podcast, but every time I'm like, I'm so fucking scared.
You've got this, 100%. You've got this.
I think I'm gonna buy a wizard hat and wear my Saint Christopher, and I'll be all
Yeah,
good.
and you've got this. Like, you've got this. So what's the worst that can happen?
Well, do you know what my biggest fear is? I've got a 2-year-old boy, and if I ever brought anything back and it affected my family, that would be like the worst case scenario, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So even with something like that, you could also just make sure that you have, a healer
You on
with you
speed dial. Come and help me.
to make sure that, give you a good cleanse after, give you a really good cleanse after, give you a good sage, pray over you. And then the next day, I would also tell you to get into a spiritual bath as well, just to make sure you're completely cleansed. And, like, drink loads of water after as well, because I definitely believe you are gifted. So you will probably get a lot of messages while you're in there as well. It's really interesting. But yeah, I feel like, as long as you can even call me and just say, listen, Aish, I'm doing it on this day. Straight after, can you literally either meet me or just do a cleanse over me? That's absolutely fine. But I would say make sure that that's something that's prioritized.
Sick. No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, listen, I think, is there anything that you wanted to tell the listeners before we head off, and before you shout your socials to everybody?
No, I feel like that's it. Like, I feel like we've had such a great chat, and hopefully
Awesome.
everyone loves this conversation. And for anyone that is looking to go down the spiritual path, then don't be scared. It's not bad, it's not evil, and it's all about bettering yourself, healing yourself, and just becoming the best version of you, really. So know that you are supported, and there's loads of us out here that welcome you. So,
Yeah, don't be a little bitch like me.
don't be a little bit.
I always like to end podcasts with this question, and then after that I'll let you tell everybody your socials. But I think I always like to ask people this question: what would your perfect day be from start to finish? You don't have to be like super detailed. I don't need to know every minute of the day, but if with a breakdown of how would your perfect day go. So for an example, what would you have for breakfast? What would you do in the morning? What would you do for lunch? And then
Like,
how would your day go? Just because I like to know what people would choose for food, what their ideal day would be like, So
okay. So my ideal day would be, I wake up early. I have a beautiful view. I really love sunsets, and so I wouldn't mind being like in a penthouse or a tree house that was a penthouse. I just made this up in my brain just now.
it's fine.
But yeah, I'm thinking about a massive tree house, but it's like a beautiful penthouse, and it's got like open panel windows. That's a bit of me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I do a fast in the morning. I like to fasting in the mornings, and I'll go for a nice walk. There's a beach nearby. go along the beach, do some meditation, come back, have some fruit. I love watermelon, pineapples, big bowl of fruit, some grapes, some cherries, some kiwi, like a big fruit salad.
Boom.
And then I just want to chill and read my book. I just want to chill. I just want to read my book. Don't call me, don't text me, leave me alone. I don't want to do social media. I actually really don't like doing social media. I hate being on social media,
I
but I
don't.
have to be on social media. I don't like it at all.
I only
But
use it for the podcast.
yeah, I just hate it. Hate it. So no social media, no phones, no texts. You can't call me, do not disturb. And then yeah, I'll just relax. Might do a little bit of shopping and some markets. I like crafts and handmade things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I might just chill out for the day and just relax, go to the beach, have a nice dinner on the beach.
What is the dinner? Like top
A
tier?
steak and chips. Even though I'm spiritual, I love meat. Most spiritual people are like vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. I'm not none of those. Not yet. I haven't got
Yeah.
to that stage in my journey to become a vegan.
Yeah, because they believe it like cleanses third eye and stuff, don't they? A lot of people is like stopping the calcifying.
But I love meat.
Hey, listen, some of the most spiritual people I know, some of the most
What do you do?
like it's natural. It's a steak,
That's
like
what I mean. It's steak.
steak and long stem broccoli, bro. Oh my days!
Thank you.
I'll
What
even.
can I do? So, yeah.
Nah,
That's lovely steak though, with some chips, a
lovely.
bun on the side, and a glass of wine.
Boom. That sounds perfect. Honestly, that sounds very similar to what I'd actually like to do. I actually went for a walk on the beach this morning. Luckily, I was working on the coast, and I get to work like half hour early. So I was like, I don't need green. I got a beach here. Shoes
Oh,
and socks off. Boom.
that's lovely. I'm very jealous right now.
It was bloody cold.
I can imagine, but it's still nice though.
Where can everybody find you? What's your YouTube, Instagram? I will put it in the description, everybody, but just so if people are listening.
So my YouTube is Oracle with Aish Rose. So just type that in and you'll see me, and I go on live sometimes, quite often, and I interact with everyone. You can ask me questions on there. I do readings on there, so that's quite fun, and different zodiac signs. Or you can reach me via Instagram. So my Instagram is AishRose __ X. But you can see it in the description. And
Awesome.
you can reach me there and send me a DM if you ever wanted a personal reading. And you can also see my events on Instagram as well, and on Eventbrite if you just type in Aish Rose.
Awesome, sick. Now I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna keep tabs on you because I've been watching your stories and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this just seems like so much fun. You just seem like a super fun person.
Yeah.
Although all she did want to do on a perfect day is read. So how fun is? I'm joking.
I know I'm actually low-key boring, but yeah, that's my perfect day though, without the world.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
strangely I'm exactly the same, but I love playing video games. So I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to play the game. But anyway, everybody, listen. I appreciate you all listening, watching, and doing all the good shit. And as I always say, please just give the show some love because we just need this out there. I think the conversations that I have with people deserve to be heard, and they could help people around the world. So do that shit. And as I always say, when I end this, when you see somebody and you ask them, you say, how are ya? Actually mean it and ask them how they are, because we see it as a greeting, but you never know what that person's going through. So I love you all. Thanks for listening. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.